So I'm here now. It is early morning time. It's almost noon actually. Um, so I'm here to talk about with you my answer to the question that Robalyn posted. How to know if someone really, really loves you? And I'm talking about how they really love you. Because many people say I love you all the time. Okay. First of all, you have to understand the word love is thrown around easily. Guys will use it. They will say I love you to have sex with you. They will say I love you to have video sex with you. They will say I love you to in order to just do anything sexual with you or get naked pictures of you or whatever. And I'm talking about online. So the first thing we have to establish is what the difference is between real love and fake love. Okay? Real love is from God. Okay? And real love is unconditional. Meaning I love you no matter what. This is why in the marriage, when you get married, you say for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health. Meaning in the good and the bad. I'm going to stay here. So love, in essence, is a commitment to stay no matter what happens. At the same time, you have to understand what love is, because even though you may be committed to someone unconditionally, if they're not showing you love as well by their actions, because the Bible clearly says love is patient, love is kind, love is sweet, love is gentle, love is this, love is that. Okay, so let me try to pull up the verse actually for you, okay, so I can read it to you. Okay, and I know this is a dating one, so you're gonna have to bear with me because I am Christian. So, but I want to be accurate on the words that I give you. Okay, so the verse that it's talking about is 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8. Here's what it says. Okay, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered, and it keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. And love never fails. Now, this is talking about the love of God. But let's take it into the realm of dating, for example, okay? In the realm of dating, if someone says, I love you, but they're not being patient with you, then they're not really loving you. You understand? If someone says, I love you, but they're not kind to you, they're not showing they love you. If someone says, I love you, but they're being jealous, then they have no actual love for you, because love casts out all fear. And jealousy is born of fear. Okay? If they say they love you, they will not boast about themselves. I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. They are not proudful about themselves. Okay, so in order to understand love, you have to understand what characteristics need to be shown. They need to be kind. If a person really loves you, they need to be kind to you. They need to be patient with you. They need to not be jealous with you. They need to not boast of themselves. They need to not be proud of themselves, in like pride, meaning exaggerated pride, like overdone. They need to not be dishonoring others, like talking bad. If you're with someone and they're always talking bad about everybody else, that's not really a good sign. Love is not self-seeking. Love is not all about me, 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 me. Okay? Love is mutual, going both ways. Okay? Love is not easily angered. Okay, it might get frustrated at times. It might get a little bothered, but it's not easily angered. Me, myself, I rarely, if ever, get angered at people. But I can get bothered. I can get irritated. Lastly, let's continue. Love keeps no record of wrong. So love does not go, you hurt me 3 times. I hurt you 1 time. You hurt me 3 times, I hurt you 1 time. It doesn't keep score, in other words. Love does not keep score, okay? Love does not delight in doing evil things. So if someone says, I love you, but they're rejoicing in cheating on you, and they're happy to cheat on you, and they're happy to abuse you, okay? That's not love, okay? Love always protects, okay? It always protects you. It always thinks about how best I can take care of you. Love always trusts. Now, I do want to emphasize the word trusts does not refer to money. If you're looking at a guy to just be a wallet for you to hand you money, that's not love. You're not interested in loving him. Okay? You're interested in his wallet, in his cash. So let's just clarify that. Love always hopes. Love always hopes. Okay? In America, we have a term, and here's what it says. We hope for the best. We prepare for the worst. Okay? That's a good rule for anybody to live by. Hope for the best, but always prepare for the worst. Okay? Always be prepared no matter what happens. The reason why that's a good saying is because the Bible says, glorify God in all circumstances. Not just the good ones, but the bad circumstances as well. Okay? And love always perseveres. It always pushes through. Okay? And love never fails. So if your love has failed, it wasn't love to begin with. Because the love of God never fails. It might have been human love. Okay, so now I want to go, now that we've established that, and I've read that real quick, okay, I want to establish what love looks like in the realm of real life love. First of all, you have to establish we are online. Majority of us are meeting each other on Facebook and on Messenger and on whatever other apps you use, okay, WhatsApp or whatever, okay. So with that being said, I have to give a few warnings. One, here's my first. If you're dating anybody, video call. Make them video call with you to show themselves, like I'm doing now. Or look for a live. Look for a live. Live is also another indication that they are actually live. Do not look for on their page where it says, this person shared a live. No. Look for, this person was live. Okay? That's what you want to look for. So when you see this person was live, that indicates that that person actually went live. Okay? As opposed to this person shared a live. Okay? That's different. They might have just copied a live from somebody else's page and shared it. Okay? Secondly, if someone insists on sending you pictures as proof of who they are, don't trust it. Use the Google reverse image search in order to search who they are. And I will give a link in the group of how to go about doing that to search any photo you want yourself to find out if the person's real. Okay? That's one tactic of how to make sure you're finding real love. Okay? The next thing I want to say is, aside from video calling, okay, is watch the majority of their actions. Do the majority of the actions match the majority of the words? So if they say, I love you, I love you, I love you, but they're not spending any time getting to know you, they're not really loving you. If they say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, but every time they talk to you, they want to see a naked photo or they want to sex chat with you or only talk about sex. See, here's what I've been able to pick up about dating. What someone normally talks about almost all the time is usually what they're looking for in you. So if they're looking and they're always talking about sex with you, that's what they want from you. Okay? If they really want to get to know you, they're going to, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? Tell me more about yourself. What are you into? What do you like? What do you don't like? How do you feel about marriage? How do you feel about relationships? You know, you discover. Okay? And to borrow a term of faith, it's the same principle when you're doing faith. You know, as a believer, you discover about God by Same principle. When you're dating, you discover about the person. How? By spending time learning about them, asking them questions. Okay. So that's just some of the little tricks that I've learned. Secondly, love is not always about asking the person for. So if someone. Okay, sorry, interruption. We're back. Love is not always about send me money, send me money, send me money. So here's the next rule I use when it comes to love. Never send money, never receive money from anybody. And if you do, be very careful. Make sure you've seen them on video. Okay? Not on audio call. Not they've sent a picture to you. Not that they've even sent a video to you. Because guess what? Even videos can be downloaded. Okay? Let's see. What else can I say about love? Love is something that takes time. Love is something that takes a lot of time. Love is something that takes time. It takes time to build up. It takes time to mature. So that's another thing I can say is it has to take a lot of time to mature, okay, with people. You have to create love. Love blossoms. Love grows. Okay, so the more time you spend with someone, the more time and more effort you're going to be able to do it. So let me explain further of what love is not. Love is not yelling at you. Love is not cussing at you. Love is not demanding things of you. Love is not giving you ultimatum. If you love me, you will do this. If you love me, you will do that. That is not love. That is manipulation. Okay? Love is not yelling, abusive, cussing, being rude, ignoring you, okay, or anything like that. Okay? So I want to indicate love online is very difficult to find. And the next thing I want to say about love is don't be unrealistic about expectations. For example, if you're a lady in the Philippines and you want a man who wants to move to the Philippines, be upfront about that. Say to the person as soon as you start talking to them, hey, I'm looking for a husband who wants to live in the Philippines. Or if you want to go to their country, say, for example, if they live in America, like me, okay, you would say to them, I'm in Philippines. I would like to relocate to America, but then you should also indicate how you plan on doing that. Okay. Are you planning on using your money to do that? Or are you planning on him paying for it? Okay. Now, I know many women are going to be like, yeah, he should pay for it because I'm poor here. Well, guess what? There's poor people everywhere. Okay. It doesn't matter what country you live in. So be realistic about the expectations. If you know you're both are poor of money and neither one of you can ever afford to go and meet each other, then you're only going to waste your time in loving each other. You understand that? Okay. You have to be realistic about the expectations. And this is one that I commonly see about the whole, I want a guy, but I want him to move to the Philippines. Well, majority of the people in the world want to stay where they are. That's just most people. Okay. They want to live where they are now. Okay. Because change is very scary. Okay. And some of them even have kids and they're like, I have to stay here for my kids, things like that. So be understanding about the situation they're in. Okay. 2, most people, especially in nowadays with coronavirus being all over the place and all these diseases happening, work is hard to come by. Many people are not rich. Most people are struggling to make their bills. They're struggling to make sure that there's food in the house. They're struggling. Okay. This is normal. Okay. So be realistic and understanding about that. Okay. 2, let me give you an example of what love looks like. So I'm going to use my own friendship. I say again, my own friendship with Robalyn to show you an example of love. Okay, Roblin, every time we talk, Roblin communicates with me. Hey, buddy, how are you doing? How's your day? Have you eaten? Have you made sure you're eating good? What have you ate? Have you had enough sleep? How's the cats doing? How's your life doing? She asks questions constantly about my life to make sure everything's okay. Okay? And we talk about different topics. Her work, her kids. I give her advice, about life, about, I give her advice on this and that. And I always try and point her to faith, but that's just the religious side of me. But I'm referring more to the love side, which is love is selfless. Love always wants what's best for the other person. They check in on the other person. They see how you're doing. How are you doing? It's okay. You're fine? Okay, wonderful. Okay, so that's what love does. Love always puts the other person first. So if you love someone, they're going to put you first. They're going to be like, okay, I want to make sure I'm okay, but I'm going to check in on them. Have you eaten? Have you slept? And it's the same thing. So that goes both ways. I always tell my buddy, hey, make sure you get your sleep. Make sure you do this. She recently got 2 new cats. I'm giving her advice about cats because I've raised cats my whole life. So, it's just one of those things, Love is caring. Love is compassionate. Okay. So, as far as the dating world goes, it's more specific. You're going to come across these few things when it comes in dating. Okay. Majority of the people you come across are not looking for love. Just for the record, they're not. They're looking for sexual gratification. And you can usually tell this by what comes out of their mouth within the first 5, 10 minutes or 30 minutes. Within just a few minutes, they're like, send me a nude. I want to see your naked body. Can you send me a photo of your naked body? Can we get on video? And as soon as you turn on the video, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to turn on the video and I want to see your face. And they're sitting there stroking their thing. And that's all you see is their thing. They're playing with their thing. That tells you what they're looking for. At that moment, you should be like, block. I got nothing to say to you. I mean, just for reference sake, I'm going to pretend just for a second here that I'm a woman. I'm not a woman and I'm not gay or anything like that. I'm just saying, I'm going to put myself in the shoes of a woman. How would I go about doing that? First of all, if I were a woman, I would present myself dressed in good clothing, not showing cleavage, not showing my body off like I'm some piece of meat. Then I would give some good words to say, hey, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this, I'm not looking for this, I'm not looking for that. Then, if I would watch the messages that would come in, and I would watch how the men talked. The moment that they start talking about sex, I'll be like, okay, if you're going to continue talking about this, I don't want nothing to do with you. Okay, that's how I would do it. If they tried to manipulate me or be like, I love you, now you can send me a naked picture, I would be like, block. I would be very quick to block guys if I was a female. Specifically if they were going down that realm of going, hey, I want to see your naked body, I want to do... Two, next thing, I would also make sure, hey, aside from dressing properly, I'm going to demand myself aside from addressing them properly, I'm going to make sure that they address me properly. You know what I mean? I'm not going to have them be like, hey, babe, I'm not your baby. If you're in a relationship, okay, there's nicknames that come with it. But if you're not in a relationship, there's no need to call you baby, sweetie, love, any of this other stuff. So the first thing, the thing I want to say about you finding love or you making sure the person you're with actually loves you, sorry. Hold on, Mom. I gotta call you back. Sorry, guys. My mom called while I was. But anyway, so let's recap. If they love you, they're going to show it in their actions. If they love you, they're going to be real. If they love you, then they're going to put forth the effort. They're going to be caring about not just themselves, but about you as well. Okay? And if they love you, they are going to be accepting and show the characteristics that go along with love. Okay? That's what I want to say about that. Secondly, to understand how to find love, you have to understand yourself more. So discovering yourself and what you need and don't need in a relationship is important as well. For example, I need someone who communicates with me every day. That's something I need, because communication to me is very important. Okay, I need someone who will move to America, and someone who will move to America with their own money, not with my money. Okay, that's my own personal beliefs. I'm not paying for you. You're an adult. Okay. So that's just some examples. Okay. Of it. Aside from that, you just have to kind of go with the flow as you go and see what they're looking for, what they want, what they desire. Okay. As I said before, if all they're talking about is sex, 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 that's what they want from you. They don't want anything beyond that. Okay. Now, that's not to say that someone who's interested in being married to you is not going to have a sexual side. Because even I have a sexual side of me. But you can ask my buddy Robalyn. We've known each other for 13 months now. Okay. And I have never needed to do anything sexual with her on video. Okay? Because I respect her. Respect comes with the territory of love. Okay? Even though she's pretty, she's married. So that means she's off limits. But you get the point that I'm making. Okay? I've known her for 13 months and I've not needed any kind of sexual gratification. Okay? So those are just some things that I want to say about love and finding love and things like that. The next thing I want to say about finding love, aside from knowing what you want, for example, if you're a Filipino woman and you want a foreigner man who will move to the Philippines, fine. Make sure you just tell them that. Hey, I live in Philippines. I want a man who can move to where I live. Very simple. Because you don't want to waste time, right? You don't want to waste your time. Okay. If you have a problem with saving money to move to where they live, let them know that. Sorry, I can't save anything. Here's what I mean. I am not a rich person in the United States, but I currently have $1,300 in cash. How? By putting away little money each month, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. And I've done that for over a year. Okay. Now I have $1,300 cash and $500 in the other pocket. Okay. So just because you're putting away savings, it might take a time. It might take some time. For example, if you meet someone, it might take a couple years to do it if you're not rich. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you know you can never save anything because let's say, for example, you have 4 kids. You're taking care of your 4 kids by yourself. Okay? That means that's a lot of money going out for those kids. Which means you don't have any money to save. Which means you're not likely ever to be able to go visit someone. Okay? Unless they pay for it. So be understanding and be realistic about what you're expecting from the person. So don't have unrealistic expectations. If you're expecting them to pay for your flight and pay for your visa, tell them that. Tell them that. Point blank. Okay? And just for the record, most foreigners, we don't want to be used for money. This is just me, for example. If anybody I talk to starts talking to me, are they encouraging of you? Are they uplifting you? Or are they dragging you down? one other sign that a person really loves you is that when you are with them, they will grow you like a flower. So they will use their words to encourage you, to uplift you, to inspire you. Okay? They will say words, and they will not just say them, but they will actually mean it. Okay? So for example, with my friendship with Robelyn, when she says I'm having a hard time this, I give her advice. I uplift her. When she says she's Pengit, I say, no, you're Maganda. She goes, no, I'm Pengit. I go, no, you're Maganda, because you are made in the image of God. So if you're calling yourself Pengit, you're calling God Pengit. Okay? So you get the meaning there. I'm encouraging her to look at herself better ways. And I'm encouraging her as a friend to focus on God. And not just that, but like in her business where she's cooking foods, I give her recipes. Oh, I show her different things to cook or things like that sometimes. So that's another thing you can do. Okay, look to help them. So in a nutshell, those who really love you will lift you up, bring you up, point you up. But those who don't love you, they will constantly be dragging you down. So here's the question to ask. When you spend time around this person, when you're done spending time around this person, do you feel drained and empty? Or do you feel full and inspired and lifted up and encouraged? If the answer is you're feeling uplifted, encouraged, inspired, then yes, the person's actually showing you they love you. But if they're not, and they're dragging you down, then that's what's called a bad character. That is something to get away from, because bad company corrupts good character. Okay? So this is just my life. It's a little bit random, but it does have a lot of the things that I believe and feel about love. Most importantly, love is a commitment. And commitment is not based on your feelings. One day, so the next thing I want to say real quick is commitment is based on you saying, I'm going to be with you no matter what. Okay? Ups, downs, problems, issues, we're going to work through it all. But that takes communication. So anyway, guys, thanks for your time. See you later.